wheel. If we roll off, we get a transfer of weight to that front wheel. And I'm just going to go steady through it. I could fly through here, but well, you fly through here and it's a foot deep, you're going to have mud coming over your head today. So it's just about going nice and steady. Now, you might come through on this side, think, oh, this is a bit safer option over here, and you might come through and you're going to feel your front wheel getting all sketchy on you, and it's going to squirrel around a bit. Okay, when your front wheel squirrels around, that should be telling you,
lean back,
stay on the gas, stay on the gas. Because what most people do in the mud and the clay or the sand is that front wheel starts going on them and they go, oh crap, and get off the throttle, and that's when it's going to fold underneath you. So we want to stay on the gas, because whilst we're staying on the gas, traction on the rear wheel, light the front wheel, and our bike wants to stay upright while we're on the throttle. That whole spinning wheel, centrifugal forces, gyroscopic balance, all that fancy jargon, our bike wants to be upright. We go off the throttle, the bike wants to fall. So for this one, we just want to keep our head up, weight back, just nice and steady on the gas. And it's not going, I don't mind, you can pick different lines. You know, you can go through there, you can go over this side, because you will find on this side, it's probably going to be a bit sketchy on this side. But mix it up a bit. So you've got different lines through. But keep your head up. Now, once you go through here, when you get out the other side of the water, don't just go, oh, I'm out, and roll off that throttle, because it's just as slippery until you get all the way through the mud on the other side. So we don't want that sudden transfer of weight. You're going to ride up, stay on the dirt, up through the trees, it swings round to the left, come down the dirt on the other side, and you're just going to do a full loop. I'm going to stand here and watch you for the first couple of laps around, just seeing about your posture and your technique going through here. It's not particularly tricky, but we just don't want any sudden transfer of weight. So head up, on the gas, weight back a little bit, and away you go. I'm not going to tell you how to ride those other corners at the moment. I just want you to ride them, change gears as you need to, and then we're going to stop and break down our corners after this. So if you guys want to just stand off to the side there a little bit. And Jet's going to ride through here for us.
Go on, Jet. Show us.
Maybe in a minute.
I moved from the 360 to this one,
Yeah.
and I found it to be better because it has the same.
360.
I've got the same 360 camera.
Yeah.
And I moved on to this one because it's so much tighter. Yeah.
So all it was is just moving your weight back a little bit and just staying steady on the gas all the way through. The more you do it, the slipperier it's going to get through there, because the wheels are going to chew up their clay. Head up.
We can go slower than that, right?
Whatever speed you're comfortable with. Go through in second gear.
Yeah.
First gear we're not even using. First gear is just to get you moving off on these bikes. All our slow riding's in second gear on these bikes. You can go whatever speed you're comfortable with.
Do you do anything different on a big bike loaded with gear?
I'd be in first gear on the big bike through here. It just depends on it. Like going up to Nundle 20 Creeks, I'll probably do a lot of those in second gear, just to keep the momentum up. Because first gear can be very twitchy on the throttle on big bikes. It just depends on the situation. But also by standing on our pegs in here, come out of the bush guys, you get leeches on you down in there. By standing on the peg, if this was a rocky creek crossing,
I can move under you.
You're hitting river stones and rocks through there. By standing, I can balance. If I'm sitting, well, your feet come off the peg, well, you're just a passenger on your bike and you're going to have zero control through there, and you're going to bounce through and probably drop your bike in the creek. So by standing, we just have that better control. If I hit rocks, I can potholes, I can move my weight around to balance my bike from that standing position. It's just by weighting those pegs. A lot of the turning I'm doing is all about weighting those pegs. And as we weight, so my feet are quite flat now. If I'm going to the left, that heel drops back a little bit. So we don't want to ride on our heels the whole time. The inside one drops back in those corners. Keep those knees in. Okay, so up to you guys now. I'm just going to park my bike up the other end there. I'll watch you guys come through. Where'd you go in the full loop? You're not coming back like I did. I just did it. Full loop around.
Four? You said four?
Huh?
You said 4 loops?
Yeah. But yeah, just follow the dirt all the way round.
You're not going to have the lifeguard for this?
I'll tell you what, I'll jump in and get you if you show signs of distress.
Second gear.
Okay.
Okay. All good. Momentum's our friend. Careful not to be going too fast. It's that balance. Up, up, up. That's it. At the engine's off, anyway, like, yeah, you're riding on your heels. Your heels are dropped down the whole time, which means you actually, your knees are straight like that.
Yeah.
You've got to try and just ride more on the balls of your feet. There are times when we're dropping the heels back purposely in the corners and braking, but you're tending to do it all the time, particularly this left one.
Yep.
This left one is always back like that, which is making those knees straight. So we want to just keep balls of your feet on the pegs, keep the knees nice and soft, and try and keep centered over the pegs.
Alrighty.
Yep. All right, off your bike, guys. Next time. I told you if you hit it really fast, it's going to cover you. Hey, water's fun.
Yep.
It can be fun. I'll just get you off of this. Okay. All right. Come on, off your bike. Come on up this way.
Yeah, that was really great. not so much more control when you start to get on the throttle when it, like the front wheel gets through.
So you felt that front wheel moving around a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So that's sending that signal. That's a message going, hey, my bike's moving around. Now we don't need to pin the throttle, but we just want to stay on that gas. So a little bit more gas, and it'll be more critical later on when we get in the sand, which I'll talk about then, to stay on that gas to keep that bike upright. Your bike is going to move around. Dirt bikes are supposed to move around. Let a bike move around underneath it. Remember, we can move our weight around on the bike to compensate for that bike moving around. Let it move. But we want to, when it does, that front wheel starts going, let's stay on that throttle. Moderately, not pinning it. Okay. Come on, up this way. How do we go riding up around this corner?
All right.
Good. Oh, that's excellent. So, no improvement?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Could we do it better?
Probably.
Come on.
Nice and warm yet?
Fuck me, dude.
You banged it through.
Yeah.
Hey, you were showing off over there going with full speed, eh?
No, I wasn't. Just forgot to slow down.
Yeah, but try and capture a nice picture on the video.
Come in and shade up here for a little bit of shade, not much.
Not me, it was him.
I didn't do anything.
You're gonna hit it. It was him, I'm telling you.
And these are my handlebars. These are my portable handlebars I like to bring with me. Okay, so we all got around this corner, that's fantastic, but we could all probably do it a little bit better.
Yep.
Now you're all standing going around this corner,
Yep.
correct? Then?
Yep.
So we're going to look at doing this corner standing, and we're going to look at doing it seated. And we're going to see if we can do it just in front of our technique, which will lead to carrying better speed through the corner with control as well. Now for this one, we're going uphill and around a corner. So whenever I'm going up a hill, I want to bring my weight forward, okay, because I want traction on the front wheel. So uphill, our weight's forward, downhill or braking, our weight goes back. So we're starting to move our weight around a whole lot more on the bike. Side to side, hips out one side, hips out the other side, weight forward, weight back. So a corner like this, well, it's got a nice camber on it, so I'm going to have reasonable grip round here. But if it was a flatter corner, if my weight's back, my front wheel's going to be really light, and it could wash out from underneath me. So my head wants to be pretty much over my bars. Now, I'm not bringing my whole body forward and my knees forward. I'm just pivoting with those hips and keeping the elbows out, and the head will come forward over the bars, keeping traction on the front wheel. This is all about traction. Sometimes we want it, sometimes we don't want it. In this case, we want traction on that front wheel. Now, coming into the corner, I want my bike to lean, because if my bike's upright, I'm not going to get around the corner very well. The more my bike leans, the better I can get around the corner. So, like we did before with our slow riding, coming into the corner, I'm going to push down with my inside arm to initiate some lean on that bike. Okay, now, if we're on the road, we just lean with the bike. But if we do that on the dirt, we can wash those wheels out from underneath us. So we're back to counterbalancing. Tipping the bike in, and my hips are going to go out. So knees in, hips out. I'm not trying to get my upper body out. I'm keeping my upper body squared up. It's just tipping the bike in and hips out. So the bike leans, but my weight is straight up and down. And that's going to give me more traction, more control on the corner. And we want to be steady on the throttle all the way through the corner.
Are you favouring weight on either leg, or just whatever feels right to balance?
See, a lot of the steering and turning that I do is weight on the pegs. Okay, I'm not thinking about pushing the bars down. That initiates that turn, that counter steering, but I can weight those pegs as well. So weighting the inside peg gets the bike to turn in that direction. So weight forward, tip it in, hips out, but keep those knees in, because this outside knee is actually driving into the bike. The inside heel will drop down a little bit, and the outside knee drives in. So when you look at my bike, they've got scratches up there on the fairing around that tank area, and that's from the knee driving in those corners. The outside knee is driving into the bike. So we want to keep knees in, hips out, elbows, head up, steady throttle all the way through the corner. Too easy. And you'll find you'll be able to carry a bit more speed through your corner and be a bit smoother. We don't really want to be on and off the throttle. Because if we're on and off the throttle like the little kids on our two-strokes again, it's upsetting the balance of the bike. So just a steady throttle. Now I'm going to do this in second gear, and I'll carry a reasonable flow through the corner. We don't want the bike fully upright, because then we're going to have to go really slow and try and turn it. We want that bike leaning just out. So that's a standing corner. And then we're going to look at doing it as a seated corner. Now, most of the times on my adventure bike, a corner like this, or a dirt bike, I would do it as a standing corner, because it's a bit of a sweeper. I tend to sit more on the dirt bike than the adventure bike for corners, but in tight corners, when it gets really sharp corners. So this is fun doing this one seated as well, and you'll probably find it's going to be more comfortable for you, because you're used to sitting on your bike, not standing. So I'm going to be standing all the way up past this tree, and then I'm going to sit. Now, whenever I'm sitting on the dirt bike for a corner, I want to sit as far forward in that seat as I can. I want my crutch up near the fuel cap. That's how far forward we want to be on the seat. Because, once again, we're trying to give traction to the front wheel in that corner. We don't want it washing out. So we sit forward in that seat. Now remember, if your feet are in that right position on the pegs, you're not going to jam on your gear lever and your rear brake, because your toes are going to miss them. And when you're sitting forward on the seat, your elbows are going to be out here, like this. Because you'll be nice and forward, which is great. And then we're going to tip the bike into the corner. So push down with that inside arm. Outside arm is going to stay a little bit bent. That's going to lean that corner. And you could keep both feet on the pegs and just ride around like that. But if you wanted to get more traction on the front wheel, that's when we bring the inside foot up nice and high. And when I say up nice and high, we want it as close to the front wheel as we possibly can. We don't want it out to the side. We want to keep it high above that front axle all the way through the corner. Now, if you lift your foot up all the way down there, by the time you get to the corner, you're going to be buggered and your foot's going to be dropping down. The only time my foot hits the ground is if I make a mistake. And you will sometimes make mistakes and dab that foot down. But I don't deliberately want that foot on the ground, because if your foot hits the ground, that's when you're putting your knees at risk of injury, grabbing a tree root or rock or something on the track and tears it around, and you're going to do your knees. So ideally, I want to keep that foot nice and high all the way through the corner and just steady on the throttle as you come out. And to give myself a bit more counterbalance, tip it in, and I'm just going to slide my bum ever so slightly towards the high side of the seat as well. Instead of sitting normally on the seat, I just slide a little bit across to the high side. Once again, just keeping that weight up and down. So that sounds like a lot to remember just through doing a bloody corner, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ride a couple of... Oh, do you want to ride a couple of laps? I'll ride a couple of laps. I'll do 2 laps standing, and then I'll do 2 laps seated, so you can see the difference in the corners. You can stand on the inside, the outside, up there, down there, move around whatever you like, just so you can see the difference. Any questions?
All good so far.
When I come back, you might have questions. Okay.
It's not that I don't trust him, I just don't trust him.
I'm going to stand there.
Stand right up in the corner, and you'll see coming in, going out. So what is it you were saying? That's
I was
better
saying,
for you.
I got the 360
Yeah.
for riding with.
Videos and laughter. Okay. Good again. You can see the hips pivoting to counterbalance the bike, so he's staying as upright as possible whilst leaning the bike. And I found I've got to exaggerate it, otherwise it just doesn't look like I'm doing it at all. Because it's an unnatural, we're not used to it, I think. So seated, the foot come up quite late, just before the corner. Like just before, so it stood up all the way up to just before the corner, then sits down late, and then the foot comes up. Just as you get to the, we'll do another one. Okay, sit there, foot up. And obviously you don't want to touch.
The foot, yeah. That's just in case you slip, to stop you from...
Going the wrong way.
Corners are fun. Standing or seated, doesn't matter, but it's all about steady on the throttle. I'm not getting on the gas till I'm coming out of the corner, because if I get on it too early, I'm going to lose traction in the back of the bike. And that's fun, but perhaps not just yet. Maybe save that for later on, sliding that bike around. We're going to lean that bike, and we've got to counterbalance with our bodies, whether we're standing or sitting.
If you're going too fast, would you use the clutch? Come up if you feel
No, I don't need to feather the clutch in this corner.
Okay.
If I'm going too fast, just regulate your throttle.
Okay.
Yeah. No front brake, no rear brake. I don't need any brake in this corner. We're uphill round a corner.
Yeah.
We can just a throttle adjustment.
Okay.
Yeah, don't be pulling your clutch in these corners. No need for it at all. Okay. So what I want you to do, I want you to go and do 3 laps standing, and then I want you to do 3 laps seated. I'm going to stand up here and I'll be yelling out at you. Probably I'll be yelling out, knees in, hips out. Push that bike in. Okay.
Come, Mr. Harry.
You really believe I can lift my foot that high?
You don't have to, you see the key when you can keep your foot on the bed. You don't have to put that way out. But it's the same thing though. If you're sitting here and you're pushing the bum out a little bit.
Go on, Harry. You go first. Show us how it's done, mate.
I'll show you how it's done.
Good.
Don't worry about it, guys. Level with me.
Cheating a bit. Go, 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 you go. Okay.
Muscle memory from being kicked growing up in
Yeah.
cowboy.
It's all coming back to you, and I can see you've done it before. It's all coming back to you. With your leg, if you are going to have it out, try not to let it creep out to the side. Try and keep it as high as up there is ideally where you want it.
But the idea is that if it's this foot you can catch it, or is it the
Well, if you have a mistake, your foot's going to dab. It will, because it'll just naturally do that.
Yeah.
But having it up here, it's just putting more weight on that front wheel.
That's what I need.
Yeah, it's all about weighting that front wheel. So it's far forward.
And who the fuck's going to carry your fuel so we can go riding?
Have your foot out, but it'll just give you more traction on that front wheel.
PL has 7.8 liters.
So you don't want to
You put another 5 liter bladder on the back.
That'll get you nearly through ambient.
What?
That'll get you nearly through ambient.
Yeah, and then when you go for lunch, I'll get some fuel out of your bike.
So whenever we're sitting, guys, whenever we're sitting, we want to be far forward in that seat. Yeah, so
Couldn't hear you properly.
it's hard because you got the engines, you got your helmets on. But a fueler are sitting so far back on the bike, if it's a steeper hill, you're likely to loop it out and flip the front wheel. So we want that traction on that front wheel. So when you're going up a hill, if you're standing, your weight forward. Remember, pivoting from the hips, head over the bars. You should be able to read this front plate on your bike. So yeah, keep weight forward uphill and downhill. Our weight is back. Uphill, forward, downhill, back. And it's about that, keeping that traction. Yeah, because if our weight's back, particularly if we're standing, if you're standing and your weight's back, that front wheel is going to come off the ground really easy. And you know, out in the trails, there's often, you know, bloody rocks and steps and stuff like that. You're going to hit that, and you're going to loop your bike out on the steep and stuff. That's it, that way.
Was that leg up that you did?
Yeah. Yep. You want to get far forward in the seat.
So the secret, Harry,
And that, all that's
you
doing,
go
that's
through
what
there
we want
faster, you get nice and
All
wet,
that's
and then you
doing
stay
is
cool.
adding an extra couple of kilos of weight to the front.
And you go there as close as possible.
Go through there faster so you
that
get all
way,
the
see,
water
when
on you,
sit forward,
and you
your
stay
elbows
cool.
are naturally out like that.
See?
And that's the perfect position.
I'll bring the close to your wife
From there, which is really quite bad, through the mud.
So so for the mad, we want traction on the rear wheel, not on the front wheel. For up here, we want traction on the front wheel, so we're moving our way forward. So we're really active on the bike. Once you get off road, you're not just standing in that one position going, oh, I'm going a lovely ride. You're moving your weight around, and on single track, every corner is going to be different. The surface changes, the types of corners change. There's logs across the track. It's bloody hard work. On Tuesday when I rode, I stopped for a break because I was buggered, and I had a look at my tacho, and I'd done 9 Ks, and I was absolutely rooted because it was just single tracks. And my favourite track that I have is what I call the fern track. And you used to be able to see this much through the ferns, just enough where your front tyre is. And no one's ridden it for ages, and it was completely grown over. And I'm going through there going, I know there's 2 logs down on this section of the track, and you just can't see them. So you've got to be ready to react at an instant and getting that weight right, moving that weight around, standing on those pegs. And that's the most fun trail of
Where is it?
my secret location.
How much do we have to pay?
It's up at Lake Macquarie. So I've got a house up there, and I'm almost back onto some bush up there. And you're not supposed to be riding
On it, yeah.
in this area, but all the kids get in there after school on their little
It's like
bikes.
the Wadigans. Most of the trails are closed, but everyone rides them. So,
Wadigans is great. A lot of the trails up there are dead ends because most of the trails up there are for the power lines. And you ride out the power lines, and then you've got to ride back. And there are lots of singles that go up alongside the main trails and that. I ride up there an awful lot, the Wadigans. So,
You know, I camped up at the basin just last weekend, actually.
oh yeah,
It's not on my bike, just my wife, but
yeah.
it's beautiful.
Oh, it's awesome spot up there. I mean, Wadigan Creek Road's one of my favourite rides. Not because it's challenging, just because it's a beautiful ride.
Fun when it's wet,
You
though.
know, you're down the bottom there through the farmland, coming up Wadigan Creek Road. The road is in such good condition at the moment, you can hammer up there on your bike. So you get lots of air over the drainage berms and stuff. Just loads of fun. Yeah. Okay, so standing and seated corners. Good. And you guys, good. For road bike riding, haven't done much of this before. That was really good. Okay, so what we'll do, I'll get you to chuck a Yui, and we're going to go around the other way, because we can't just ride the left all the time. Think about the corner here, the corner over there, this corner. I don't mind if you do standing or seated corners for all of them, but just think about your technique now in all these corners going the other way. Pick a different line through the water if you don't want to ride through the middle. Right over on that other side there, and you'll feel the bike might be a little bit slippery over there.
It's all right. A lot of them have been using the road anyway.
See that?
We've been
There's
cheating
going
a
to be
little bit.
penalties if I see you out in the road.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw someone.
We're dirt bike riders.
I'm not
now.
going to name.
Road bike riding is finished. So if you don't want to get wet, go through on the side over there. Because it's all about experiencing how the bike's going to react differently through there on different lines that you're going to take. Whatever line you take, commit to it. Always you're going to take bad lines out in the trails because often you've got a split set. You go, left, right, straight ahead, I don't know. Just got to commit to it. And there'll be shitty lines and you go, that was a nightmare. Like, just commit. Okay, couple of laps the other way. I'll stop you up there and we'll have a drink of water and then we'll talk about something else.
Malacca.
stop so the others can have a drink break. It's
Sure.
pretty hot. And I'll talk to you about a few things.
I have a deal with my wife
Yeah.
that if I do dirty shit, I gotta clean my own dirty shit. That's why I'm trying to minimize my problems this afternoon.
We're tough dirt bike riders. We don't get- dirt bike riders don't want clean gear. You got no street cred. It's all about having some street cred.
Right.
It'll look good. Have a drink, guys. Stay hydrated. I don't want you collapsing on me yet. We've got too much fun stuff to do.